Hello loves, welcome back to my channel of high vibrations. I am so excited to be here with you today. I have been enjoying this journey of really just falling into reading the energy of this collective where I have been doing this purely off of promptings to get in touch with this energy and do these readings. And I was feeling another prompting to share and do a tarot reading. And actually what was coming to me right before I started this recording was that you have been learning how to read your intuition, and I think this may have been something that you were not aware that it takes more than just listening, that actually there is, I already had a card jump out of the deck. I think there's a lot that is being channeled into this reading today, but the reading of your intuition, it sounds like you're coming to realize, is more abundant in your life than you were aware of before. And something that was really coming up for me that may be relevant to somebody or even quite a few of you, that this earthly world of diagnoses, and I want to preface this with, remember that I'm not a medical professional. I am not certified to give you direction on things, so please always consult medical professionals for your health. But I was hearing that the diagnosis may actually be a way of misleading you from messages that you are receiving through your intuition, that you were not aware that some of the things that could be medically labeled, which may still be medical things, so I'm not saying that those are not real or happening, and I'm not disagreeing that there may need to be treatment for those things, but that some of the things that you would brush off as just explainable by medicine is actually also a sign from your intuition. And I'm getting the sense that this could be physical sensations. It could be some kind of pain or tightness, or just a sudden burst of something, energy or a jolt, or I'm even hearing a zapping, or kind of something that's kind of like a static feeling. But I mean, the list goes on in this. These are just some of the examples that were coming up for me right now. And some of the messages I'm also hearing are things that you may have mislabeled as, I'm hearing things like attachment style. Let's see, that's kind of the main one that's coming up right now. Just I'm hearing this addition of general psychological themes that are kind of in the psychology world or in pop culture, psychology pop culture, that which may still be true, not that I'm disagreeing with those things, but that then you don't explore that further to see if this may also be a sign from your higher power or your intuition. I already have 3 cards that have popped out as we've been discussing this. So before I take a look at these cards, I want to be a little bit more intentional in, I just had another card that came out. I think I was expecting this to actually be a pretty short reading today, but I think there's a lot that needs to be communicated here. But before I jump into these cards, I actually want to be a little bit more intentional in the intentions that we are setting, what it is that we are needing to hear at this time. I have a feeling this is related to this exploration and development of your intuition, because that seems to be a really big theme in our reading lately, especially for those of you that are going through a lot of change and expansion at this time, that you are really being asked to rely on your intuition to know which direction to go. Not that you can make the wrong choice, but that there are going to be, I'm hearing, people and opportunities that are not aligned for you, that you are meant to really lean on your trust in your intuition to know what is aligned and what is not aligned. So we already have 5 cards that have come out of the deck. I think this is actually a great place to go ahead and turn towards these cards and see what they have to share with us today. Our first card is the 8 of Swords, and something that really jumps out here is actually the way that there is movement through this entity, and this fitting within this context of trusting your intuition at this time. I am hearing that it is important for you to learn the way that things move through your body, so you are able to identify what the source is. And I'm hearing some of that is specific to like knowing when the source is from your body, because there's going to be times that you are experiencing specifically like tiredness, that may not even just be in the morning, but may be at different times throughout the day, and it's actually, it can be your body's signal of a tiredness. But in this case, there are times where this is a sign for you from your intuition, from your spirit guides, that there is something to explore there. This can be something that can be, and this may not be for all of you, but it may even be like a protective mechanism, some of these things that come for you physically. But that is the difficult thing when you are early on in the development of your intuition, is learning how to take the signals that you're receiving and using your discernment, leaning on your intuition to sense where it is coming from and what you need to, or may not even need to do with that information, because some things are just information and don't necessarily like need to be acted on. So the themes here that are appearing for this upright position of the 8 of Swords is injury, restriction, and victim mentality. I noticed that there could be some of you that are feeling a bit stuck, like fixed in place, as if I'm getting the feeling that it's you are trying to make this progress in some way, either towards goals or like in your development and expansion, and you are feeling some resistance, that you, almost as if you are quite literally stuck in place. Like I'm getting this like image in my mind of like your feet being stuck to the ground, and there are roots that have grown up around the feet, like holding them in place. And for some of you, this may mean that you have been held in place by something in your life, and are currently being held in place by something in your life that you have not outgrown yet. And I always want to bring in, when we discuss these types of things when it comes to growth, I always want to reiterate that this is being sent with love and compassion and grace, because we are not able to evolve if we are coming in with a lower vibration or a negative energy. So remember to look at yourself and receive these messages with so much love and grace, and use your intuition But there may be some of you that are feeling stuck in place because of something that you are needing to outgrow. And I'm hearing that it is for most of you is from two different areas, and one of them being these narratives, and that may be this victim mentality, that things happen to you as opposed to for you. That was something else that came up for me. I don't remember where, like this morning in my routine, but that seems to be an important message that needs to be shared at this time, that this opportunity of growth for you may be around this narrative that you have believed that things happen to you and not for you. So I would encourage some exploration into that if that is resonating for you. And the other area that this stuckness is related to, so it could be an either or it could be an and here. So these narratives and or, depending on who this speaks to, is people in your life, that there are people in your life who I'm getting the impression that it is because they have seen you for quite a period of time. I'm hearing years. So I think somebody that you've known for quite some time, that they have really seemed to have pegged you down. They, which is, I mean, that's like the wording that I just received, which is not really a phrase that I've ever used. So I don't know if maybe that's going to just speak to somebody in particular, or I'm getting even this image of like a frog that is being dissected, and it's pinned down on the mat by its hands and its feet. Like it's stretched as far as it could go, so there's no more leniency in its ability to stretch. And that seems to be, that feels really aligned with this part of the message, that there are people in your life currently who have become a container for you, and not in the like typical positive sense that I've heard it in, that they are actually restrictive to you because they only see you existing within this very specific range, and that is limiting your growth. And it's interesting because I am hearing that the way that this is manifesting is because of their limited growth, it is forcing you to stay within that range. So I'm hearing specifically reactions or like responses, the way that you respond to them in specific situations where they are acting out of a place where they are limited in their growth, like they haven't grown enough yet to like act in a more aligned or healthy way, and it is provoking reactions out of you that are no longer aligned for you in this growth and in this direction that you're moving in. So it is forcing you to stay within this container, and I am hearing it is limiting your ability to grow spiritually and to receive revelations and direction spiritually. I just needed to take a deep breath there, because I felt like this somber feeling wash over me. That feels like a really important message for somebody to hear at this time. So I want to repeat it, to reiterate it to you, that there is, I think it may actually be one person, but potentially for some of you, it's a couple people who are in your life at this time, who have known you for quite some time, who have not grown at the same rate as you. And the way that they interact with you is limiting your ability to grow spiritually and receive revelations or directions from your spirit guides or your higher power. Yeah, I'm just taking a moment here to pause and let that absorb, because it really seems to be one of the most important messages that I have received so far as I've tapped into like these energy readings for everyone here. So I want to make sure that you also have some time to let that settle into your system and receive what your intuition, what your spirit guides want you to hear right now about that particular message. The next card that had come out of the deck, that Eight of Swords came out very quickly, and this next card came out really not too long after, is this Eight of Cups. And I want to note here that both of these cards are the number 8. So that may be a relevant sign for some of you at this time. I do know that numbers have spiritual meaning, so I wanted to see if there was anything that could be relevant for you here. I'm seeing balance, new beginnings, abundance, and karmic cycles, which is quite fascinating. And there's some reiteration here of new beginnings. So I know that has already been a huge overlying theme here in many of my readings recently, that there are new beginnings happening for you, and you have felt that in a very powerful and spiritual way. So many of you have been receiving this confirmation for you that you are moving into a new beginning. There's this big change happening for you, things coming into your life at this time. But I have, in some of my personal readings, which is relevant here, I have not labeled it quite yet in my readings, is this theme of karmic cycles. So in this reading, I believe I did, in just my last reading, where there is, or maybe it was 2 readings ago, where there is your soul story is being rewritten right now, and not as a predetermined life with no agency type of way, but more specifically that because you are going through this period of growth, you have needed a rewriting of your story to ensure that you are living in an internal world that is aligned with the new life, this new energy that you are moving into. The key themes of the 8 of Cups is actually departure and natural endings. And within this particular reading here, that does seem to be a continuation of this message, that there is likely somebody, but potentially a few somebodies, that are limiting your ability to grow spiritually and receive spiritual guidance. Confirmation burp. I do believe that this is a confirmation of this departure and a natural ending of this connection. And something that stuck out here was this figure that is off in the distance, and they are still lit with light, but they are far away, so you really can't make out too much of them. And what I was hearing was that this is potentially a challenging departure for you, that you care greatly for this person and you can see a lot of light in them. You may even see their spiritual potential to exist in this higher vibration world, this higher vibration realm that you are moving into, that you have already moved into, I'm hearing. So this departure may be a particularly sticky departure, as you may have many parts of you that really do not want to let go of this person. And the symbolism here of this figure off in the distance I was hearing is because you will continue to see them from afar and feel a lot of light and love towards them. And not just because you are a person who is filled with love and light, but also because this person was so important to you during, I'm hearing, dark times, and also during this time of growth. They have been somebody that you have relied on as you have grown into, I'm hearing, grown into yourself. But now they have become a limiter in your ability to continue to grow. And this is important for you to hear at this time as you are moving into your higher purpose. And there is I'm hearing important work for you to do that cannot be completed if you have these restrictors in your life, limiting your ability to grow spiritually and receive important guidance from your spiritual guides. One last note that I want to make here is within this picture there are what appears to be raindrops, like one per mushroom, and there's 8 mushrooms. There's one raindrop per mushroom, except for one of the mushrooms has 2 raindrops and one of the mushrooms has none. So it looks like what I was getting a sense for was that many of the people who are, I'm hearing, coming into your life as of recently, so they may be people that you have not known quite as long, are going to remain with you either temporarily or long term in your journey as you are moving into your higher purpose and this higher vibration, except for in this case, because much of this reading has been about predominantly one person that you are needing to let go of. For some of you it may be a few, so use your intuition on I'm hearing you will know who in your life is not meant to accompany you on this journey. And I was just kind of exploring this idea here of one of the mushrooms having 2 of the raindrops. So it looks like there is some guidance here on redirecting some of your overflow. I'm hearing, because your cup is beginning to overflow here, that you are able to give to people in your life from a place of abundance instead of lack, because you've always been a giver, but now you're really moving into a space in your life where your cup is so full it's beginning to overflow, and that is what you can pour from, which is what I'm hearing is the healthiest way for you to be giving, in the most authentic way. But the symbolism of these raindrops, one of the mushrooms getting that additional raindrop that was meant for the mushroom that is no longer, it's the smallest mushroom of the bunch, which connects back to this restrictive lack of growth person that we've been speaking on. So their raindrop appears to be redirected to somebody else within your circle, and that may just be that it is an encouragement to redirect your energy in general to the circle of people in your life that feel more aligned. But it may also, for some of you, be more specific guidance on redirecting to somebody within your circle that is really needing your, I'm hearing aligned energy at this time. And I am feeling a call back to a recent reading where I was discussing a mentor coming into your life to help teach you and guide you. So this may be resonating for some of you in a specific message that some of you may be guided to pour that reallocated energy into somebody who is needing your specific light, love, and guidance. I'm hearing all three of those things: light, love, and guidance at this time. And I know that with your strong intuition, if you are like receiving a specific prompting to redirect that energy into somebody at this time, you will know who that is. And I'm hearing a warning that is coming with that, to not be misguided by your desires. You will feel this if your mind flickered to somebody that you know that you can see their light, but you're also aware that they are restrictive to your growth. So this may be the same person we've been speaking on, this restrictor. If your mind flickered to them, that is not your intuition. You will feel when it is not your intuition, because it feels like a crowded, convoluted, like muddled, confusing feeling, and it feels a bit more dense. So I'm being guided to encourage you to continue to use your higher vibration energy, your higher self, as a touchstone, the thing that you go back to when you need a reference point of what that feels like. So when you are reflecting on premonitions or signs, to use that touchstone, that touch point, to compare, is this message that I'm receiving right now, what is the source? Is the source this higher power, or my higher self, this lightness, this openness, this expansion, really re-emphasizing here, light and open. Light as in the brightness of it, as in not darkness, but also lightness as in a weight sense. You will feel lighter, and personally I tend to feel a lot lighter in my chest, almost as if my chest is open and airing out like a window. That's when you will know it is confirmation of a premonition. So if your mind flickered to pouring this energy into somebody that may not be aligned, just use that touch point, that touchstone of what that energy truly feels like, to compare it. And this will help also strengthen your intuition and your ability to trust it. So there are still 3 more cards to read from, and I don't want this message to get too long, so I may end up splitting this into another video. But this next card is the Knight of Pentacles. I am feeling this prompting to end the reading here, because this is going to be a lot denser, and we are going to need to explore this a lot more, because this Knight of Pentacles reversed is really shifting the tone of this reading. So I'm actually going to pause here, and I will make sure to link this video, the continuation of this reading. I'm going to make sure to link in this video once it is up, so that way you are able to move into the next reading with me, and finish this out. I know that there is a sense of incompleteness as we are finishing this, and I'm not sure if you're able to feel it, but I can feel a little bit of a heavier energy or heavier tone to this as it is shifting. So I want to send some love and reassurance as we part ways that this is not a bad sign, that like things are still moving in the direction that is aligned for you, and that like everything is working in your favor and your spirit guides are looking out for you. So this shift in energy is just like an important message that needs to be shared and not a bad sign. But I am so grateful to be in this space with you here today and throughout these readings, having that trust from this higher power, and also from you and your higher self to be a channel for these messages that you are needing to hear at this time. And I have a lot of love and gratitude for you in my heart that I carry at all times. So I hope you are always feeling it, but especially now I am sending that out to you as you are listening to this. And I am so much looking forward to connecting with you more in the next reading.